What is going on, guys? It is Blink here, back with a new guide. So in this guide, we'll be talking about the best times to use the Launchpad. Also, the V-Bucks giveaway is still going on, so make sure to visit the link in the description to enter. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as opposed to Amazon gift code in the comments every time I upload. By turning on notifications, you'll have a way better chance of getting here first and redeeming that code. Anyways, guys, let's get to this guide. So, I'll start off with the most common scenario of using the Launchpad, which is avoiding the storm. Hey, some of you might not know this, but it's a great way of avoiding the storm. Now, it is risky as you can get your material shot out pretty easily if someone finds out. So make sure you guys can kind of estimate how high you need to build in order to get to the safe zone. You're not always going to be accurate, but you should be pretty close. Don't overbuild when you don't need to, because as I said, the higher you go, the higher the risk gets. Now, you might need to build pretty high if the circle is not that close. So let me explain the best ways of building up to give you more time to launch pad and avoid getting shot out. If you're not building too high, then wood will be fine to build with. Now, make sure you're building at least 2 sets of stairs. That way you're not getting shot out too quick. If you're building much higher, then your best bet will be to use brick or metal, as they both have a higher total HP than wood. It gives you more time to set up your launch pad in case your stairs get shot at. Now, every time you build up, build a minimum of 2 sets of stairs. If you've got a teammate, he can also build another set for a total of 4 stairs going up. That way you guys have the best support possible. This usually isn't needed, but it is recommended if you're building pretty high. Then a total of 4 metal stairs would be perfect. Now, don't think you're invulnerable when doing this, because you're absolutely not. There's a certain point where you cannot hear your materials getting shot out, especially if you're going super high. You might not even notice it. Now, you'll hear everything collapse, but you'll have almost no time to react to the situation. So if you're playing duos, then get your teammate to look back at the stairs once in a while, just to make sure no one's taking shots at your stairs, or he doesn't see them collapsing. So that's basically everything you need to know about launch padding away from the storm. Now, this next situation is on pinches. Pinching a team after their fight. So, you can see all 4 of these players jumping around like crazy. It was quite funny. So, using a launch pad is a great idea because these players can potentially be low on HP, resulting in making it much easier for us. We do end up eliminating both of them pretty quickly, and now we've got 4 players worth of loot all to ourselves. I'll continue this example because the next launch pad situation is actually a super great one to take a note of. So, it was a 2v2 situation, and these players ended up splitting up from each other. The one teammate wanted to grab that drop, and I'm also going to explain a great way of using a launch pad involving airdrops in this guide. Now, both of these players were pretty separated from each other, which gives you potentially 2 2v1 situations. Now, you can absolutely launch pad if you know a player's teammate is pretty far from him, easily take on 2 2v1 situations. We ended up waiting as I wanted to make sure to tag up this player in the fort first, just so he has to heal when we're launch padding. But absolutely go for the launch pad if you notice a temporary 2v1. So I do end up taking this opponent, and we instantly go for the launch pad as he's now got lower HP. The whole fight, his teammate was nowhere to be found, as he was somewhere down by all the trees. This allowed us to get a pretty easy knock on him. All we have to do is fight another 2v1, which ended up giving us the win. So remember, if you notice teammates separated from each other, then the easiest way of fighting them both is to fight them in a duo versus solo situation. Notice these things and try to take action. This next situation is another great way of noticing weaker players. It was another 2v2 situation, and they were much closer to the middle of the safe zone. What I noticed was they never set up their force to prepare for us. They went directly for the drop and broke the tree, and I knew they must have maybe no shields or low health of some sort. So you might be wondering when's a good time to engage onto your opponents. Well, anytime you notice something could be off. I'm trying to get you guys to think just a little more, dissecting the situation and really analyzing it. Well, they might need something, and by noticing, you can cut off that something by applying pressure. Although, don't think this is always true, because a lot of times people just like opening drops to maybe get an upgraded weapon or just for fun. But by still taking action, your opponents might actually need something that you can cut off by applying that pressure. So we launch padded to these players, and the first player I downed had absolutely no shields. So right there, that's exactly what they needed, shields. By us putting on the pressure, we avoided them potentially finding shields inside the drop, which in the end led us to having the advantage because we took action. Fortnite isn't all about holding the high ground or getting to the middle of the safe zone. Yes, those can give you advantages, but by dissecting the situation you're in and taking a different approach, that can maybe just help a little more. Alright, so this last situation is a defensive launchpad example. One of these players had a jetpack, and if you're facing good players with jetpacks, then it could be pretty hard to hold that high ground. I got my HP drained, so I healed up inside a box with a campfire. Shortly after, they did end up finding my location and I couldn't keep rebuilding the roof as I can easily get shot right through. So dropping down lower and using that launch pad to reset the fight will be your best bet. I got away and used the first launch pad to try reloading my weapons. Wasn't possible as this player followed me, so I used another launch pad to get on top of the hill for a bit of high ground advantage. If you have the chance, take shots at your opponent if he uses your launch pad. While he's in the air, you can do some good damage. If you do enough damage, you might be able to veer him away from you. That way he also needs to heal. Now if you have a campfire, you can place it on the floor under you, and you'll still get healed up. This allows you to apply pressure onto your opponents as you're still getting healed. Now, these players had to move into the zone as they weren't in, so this gave us the best chance to pressure them. I also might as well mention this as it's good to note. Anytime players are running into the zone, try to apply constant pressure. They now have to dodge your shots as they move forward. It puts them into a really bad situation, especially during endgame. The storm hurts much more. So once again, use that launch pad to get away from your opponents and give you more time to heal. It's also great to use if you want to reset the fight. Say your opponent's got the high ground and you think it's too risky to get it back. You can launch pad away and fight him another time during the game. Or if he still follows you, you guys now have to build for that high ground again. So you get another chance of trying to hold it. Well guys, that's it for this guide. Hopefully I've helped some people out, and a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated as it does help me out a lot. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you on the next one.